Welcome back. I'm going to cover 7.0, 7.1 and 7.11's armor setups and how to get your armor to 330. The first important part is implants. If you come to the supply section on the fleet, the very right bay, if you don't see this droid here, you need to talk to Londar. You'll get a mission from Londar, and in your mission list you'll see a 60-second countdown. You'll wait for that mission to finish. You'll go and talk to Londar again, and this droid will appear. The next step that you have to do is purchase some implants. The implants that you have to buy is going to be a bit of a choice there, and we'll cover that in a second. But initially, when you buy implants, if you haven't done it before, they're going to cost quite a bit of tech fragments. So save up your tech fragments for implants. Once you get 2 implants on the same character to level 334, the cost of the implants reduces down to 2500. So focus on one character first. If you're familiar with the set bonuses, this is what implants do now. They actually implement the set bonuses on implants, which means we can switch armor pieces around and we can just keep the implants for our set bonuses. Now, to discuss which implants you need to get, there's a best in class list for them, and we'll quickly jump to that. Here's the best in class. For the Sage, you're going to do Gathering Storm and Unmatched Haste. For Seer, it's Dynamic Force and Revitalize. What you also want to take note of is what bonuses it has with it. For example, Gathering Storm has Alacrity, Unmatched Haste has Critical. This will be important for your armor build-up. Let's jump to the next. Shadow, Dynamic Force Training. For the tank, it's Ballast Point and Force Resistance. For the Guardian, it's Fearless Victor, Champion's Precision. And for the tank, there's Force Resilience Retaliator. Sentinel is Fearless Victor, Berserker Call for all 3. Commando, Concentrated Fire, Random Charge for the 2 DPS. For the Healer, Concentrated Fire and Advanced Scanning. Vanguard, Mandalorian Armaments, Shock Trooper. And for the tank, it's Super Commando, Squad Leader. Gunslinger, Improved Targeting, Lock and Loaded. And for the Saboteur, it's the only exception where energy regulators with Lock and Loaded is used. There is a situation where Marksman will use energy regulators depending on which choices you choose in your ability tree. For Scoundrel, it's Tactician and Lock and Loaded for all 3. You'll notice that for Scoundrel, there's Alacrity on both, and this will impact on which armor combinations you're going to play around with. So let's go back. So once you've got your implants selected out, that will be the first focus part that you'll do. The next part is to get armor set up. If we come to the middle bay in the supply section, we'll find Hyde and Zeke here. So Hyde is where we get our missions to be able to unlock the armorings, mods and enhancements on Zeke. This is where things get a little bit trickier. We need to get talking to Hyde, and I'll show you the example here. I'm gonna speed through this, take your own time. Okay, so we get to this stage where we can use 328 prototype, which is the blue pieces, or 328 artifact, which is purple, 330 per prototype, 330 artifact. So what we're going to do is, if we pick up one of these missions, we need to deconstruct that type of item, come back, and we'll unlock that level of gear. So if we look at where we can find these, if we look at the 328, we can find blue in R4 anomaly operations in story mode 328. We can find the purple legacy operations in nightmare We can also find the purple 330 there. Blue in hard mode, and green won't help us. That won't be an option. Flashpoints is another place to get blue. These will get us up to 330, so that's master mode flashpoints. Vet mode won't help us. And if we look down here, PvP is the only other purple at 328 that it can help us. Ideally, we want to focus around this area and maybe flashpoints master mode. That's going to be the easiest. If you do find a group that can help you get the boss, 2 bosses in R4 anomaly story mode, that jumps you with just a single run or single 2 boss runs up to 330 blue, and that's a big jump. So that is preferably the easiest way to get your 330 gear. Let's go back to the game. Let's do 330 prototype first. Let's look at my inventory here. And what I have is here is 326 flashpoint blue. Now to get that up to 330, I go back to the supply section. And in this case, I'm going to talk to... This is the flashpoint gear upgrade.
I've got good suppliers. Only the best sold here.
I'm going to select all of them. And there's 328 I can buy, because I have 2 326 ones. So let me buy one. You see, I've got a second one here, so the 328 is still going to be an option. But I can now buy this 330 again. It does take FP1 stabilizer, so it does require running some flashpoints. Now I have a 330 blue piece.
Feel free to browse.
Okay. Let's deconstruct that and watch this mission here. Zeke, deconstruct the specified item. And I can return to Hyde. Obviously did a good job, so now if we look at Zeke, you'll see I have the 330 level mods, enhancements, hilts, and even barrels. The trick here is that if you don't see something, just click at the top and click on all. You'll get out of the list of everything. The little trick here is, like, for example, if we do a barrel here, well, let's do an armoring first. If we look at the armoring, you'll see there's a 2-hour count before I can do anything with it. The trick would be to actually take the next step. Let's build an armor piece up. Let's get a mod. And let's do a critical enhancement. So I've got the 3 pieces. And now we're going to the very left bay in the supply section. And this adaptive gear vendor.
Take a look at
Here
the
I can
stock.
buy
What can I
blank
get
pieces of gear. Stay away from the very low end one. Let's go up a little bit to the empty slotted ones. The benefit here is that they bind to legacy. So let's do a chest piece here. That was the wrong one. There's a chest piece.
Appreciate your business.
So now I've got an empty one. And if I look over it, there's a timer on it. There's a timer on all 3 of these. But the moment I drop it in, the timer disappears. So if you want to stash a few of these in your legacy bank, you can now just pull them out again. It will cost you a few credits. But now I have items that I can immediately use, or I can do this on one character and build up my armor set. So let's keep this for a little bit. Do the next step. The next step that we have is we want to do purples, and I have a Ricardo 326 piece here. let's this time around, we're going to go to the very right bay. We want to talk to this operation upgrades vendor.
Nice to see customers.
We're
Can
going
I
to
get
go
you anything?
all, and there's my boots. In this case, it's going to use OP1 Catalyst, so it will require you to run some operations to get this done. So if I upgrade this once, I now have a 328 piece, upgrade it once more, 330 piece.
Feel free
Let's
to
go talk
browse.
to Hyde. Okay, this time we're going to do the 330 artifact. Okay, and you see my mission is here to deconstruct that. Talk to Hyde again. And what's changed on Zeke now is I've got purple enhancements. So if we take purple critical enhancement, let's just see here. We're going to do an alacrity one actually. I'll explain in a second. So if I take this one out, the purple alacrity in, and here I have a Ricardo 330 purple. Let me switch this with what I currently have on, and let's look at the stats here. The 330 headpiece has got 1104 mastery, same as this piece here. Endurance 1304, same as this piece. Power is the same, alacrity is the same. So this piece that we built up is the same as a purple Ricardo piece. It might not appear that way, and the benefit, it's bound to legacy, so I can move it around between characters. And this is how you build up your new 330 piece armor pieces. There's a few more things to know. Let's look at the stats that we need to achieve. I'm going to load up an armor sheet for myself. Okay. So, the first thing that we need to deal with is getting our accuracy to 2696. This gives us a 9%, and with our legacy buff, we get this from, if we look here, if you do your classes through and talk to your companions on your ship, you'll unlock these bonuses, and it depends on which one you've done, but if you unlock one, if you look at the top here, it grants a bonus to accuracy. That is 1% accuracy, so I need to just get my stats to 9% accuracy, and the 1% will give me a bonus. For each class, it's a different character companion. There's that one. And so you can do it on the Imperial side or on the Republic side. Once you've done one unlock, it'll apply to all of your characters. So if you mouse over here, I can get to 9%. And if I look at my overall stats, I'm at 10%. So that number is 2696.
Join the Republic Army.
For
Recruiters are
alacrity,
standing by.
I need to
If
get
you
to
find a better deal
2054.
somewhere else, well, go away.
So getting to 2054 is a little bit of a chore, but we can do that. I overshoot it a little bit just to give me a little bit of margin of error. And there's some other situations where you want to overshoot it if you've got some abilities that are long castings. If you can get that 0.1 of a second down, there might be some benefits. This is the number I landed on. I'm going to show you how we get these numbers, and then the rest just goes into critical. So what we need to do to get there is we need 4 accuracy and 4 alacrity items. So the first thing I did with my accuracy is I put accuracy on my headpiece. There's an enhancement, that's 1. Chest, boots, and then I've got the earpiece. Now the trick with earpieces and relics is if you want these to be purple, you can't buy them off the vendor. You actually have to get them either from a master mode flashpoint or hard mode. If you want to purples, you want to do a hard mode operation and use 306 pieces like I have here. Put a 306 relic in, and each item that will drop will then be a purple relic, but it'll be 320, and you can just upgrade it to 330 and find your relics, and we'll talk about which relics you want to pick. So that's 4 accuracy. I then use a proficiency stem to give me more accuracy, and then I use 2 accuracy augments, one in there and one on my boots. That gets me to 2696. For the alacrity, I have 1 year on my gathering storms, so that's 1 alacrity. This one is critical, so my next alacrity is going to be in my pants or leggings. The next one is going to be in my glove, and the other one is going to be in my focus. So that's 4, and that's how I match up to get my alacrity. Everything else is critical. Even my augments is critical. I have only the 2 accuracy augments. So now which relics to pick is the next topic. So what we need to look at first is, thanks to the people at Theory Crafters, they came up with these numbers. If we look at our relic combination, Mastery and Power, Mastery and Crit, and Power and Crit, the break-even point is around 3600 critical rating. So if your critical rating is below this, then a Power Crit combination or a Master Crit combination is going to be beneficial. Once you get over 3600, you want to switch to a Mastery and Power. So if we go back here, you'll see this one gives me Mastery and this one gives me critical, because my stats is still below 3600. I'm at 2794. So that gives you your combination of the relics that you want to achieve. And then I have my implants all the way to 334. And the next step is to get these offhands, because we can actually build them. So let's get some pieces, and I can show you how to build these. So we need a hilt. We're going to use one of these. We need a mod. We need a alacrity in my case. Another mod. And we need an armoring. Annoying when windows close on you when you don't expect it. So the next step is, I just want to show you that this adaptive armoring vendor does not have any weapons. So we can't get weapons here. Ideally, we want to get weapons that are
galaxy. You check.
going to be usable across different characters. Otherwise, we're going to spend a lot on
Appreciate your
augments.
business.
One of your potential places to get weapons is if you go to your collection. If we look at weapons, if you did the SWTOR, which is Galactic Season 1, these weapons, let me get the saber out. These weapons are bound to legacy. They're not all this way. For example, some of them that are just bound to your character. So be very careful of which one you use. But in this case, I could do a hilt in here. Mod. Armoring. I would do a crystal, of course. And put my augments in there. The next place to get weapons and offhands is if we go to the Cartel Bazaar. In this case, we're going to go to the Gree vendor. And it should be this one. If you see here, there's a focus that we can buy that's empty, and it's legacy bound. We can even buy a saber that's legacy bound. But in this case, we just need a focus. Let me get some color crystals out, finish this project properly. Yes, let's be. Okay. Let me really round things up. Put some augments in there. And in this case, I just need to do critical augments. And to open up this window, I hold down the control key and I right click on an item. Don't need to go to modification. And now, if we look at the stats, when I mouse over, I have my 330 gear here, and the stats exactly matches my current one, which is a Ricardo one. My focus exactly matches those numbers as well. So I've now got replacement pieces that I've built up, or in your case, it might be your full 330 piece. They're legacy bound. I can move them between characters, and I have a video on how that's done. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you.